I just saw that my Subbie count went up by 21 in a week. Wow! Thank you to the 16 that have been there since I started my vlogs way back when. Then I took a break for 3 years, and YouTube started my view count over, but um my Subbie count stayed the same while I took a break. I took all my other vlog videos off when I took a break 3 years ago, or for 3 years. I just started back up, so that's why the view count is low. But for all that time until a week ago, the Subbie count was stuck at 16. I'm thankful for that long time support of 16 that's even stayed while I was gone for 3 years. And then now I'm equally thankful for the new 21 that is decided to be a Subbie of mine. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me so much to see my channel grow, and I can't do anything about growing or trying to make a success of this and try to I know it's a long shot, but I want to give it another go about making this a successful channel as far as, because there's not many jobs I can do. Like I said before, I'm not going to get into much of it in this one because I just brought it up last week and it brought me to tears. So I don't want to go through that again so soon. The memories that brought those tears and stuff. So, and the reason the tears came. But anyway, I want to keep this happy and light and no tears. But I just want to say thank you so much. And it means so much to me, and I'm very moved that people are so kind to help me out and try to reach my goals. Everything helps. So, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It was so exciting and surprising to jump by 21 in a week when before it stuck at 16 for years. Well, I mean, it grew to 16 and then nothing for years and years and years before I took my break. So, and it wasn't because I wasn't getting any more numbers than 16 for those years. I just got so tired of vlogging that I just wanted a break. And I wasn't thinking I would come back. But I'm so glad I did and want to give it another try. But even if it doesn't get any more successful than it is right now, I still want to do videos. It's not about the money. I just want to see if I can earn money on it. Not everybody can, and I realize that. And I haven't been able to earn money on it yet because it takes 1,000 subbies and 10,000 hours of watching. I think they said the new, well, they're not new anymore because I took a break for 3 years, and but a while back they were new rules about, I think they said 10,000 hours of watch time. I could be wrong about that number, but I'm not wrong about the 1,000 subbies before that you'll even start getting pennies and other perks would get unlocked on the YouTube side of things for the YouTube contributors. That's what I like to call myself, a content contributor to YouTube. So, but yeah, thanks to the 21 that are trying to help me reach my goals with YouTube. And even if they don't get reached, I'm so thankful. And it makes me so happy to see the jump. But even if I didn't, I'd still be happy doing the vids because I had to take a break because I wasn't wanting to do it for a while. I wanted to rest, but now that I'm back, I'm ready to go again for another who knows how long. Uh, but I do enjoy it, and it's a creative outlet for me. And I just like to put content on YouTube, and I hope more people than just me like it. And I guess at least 37 people like it, like I do. So thanks for being there and being here on my page. And please comment and like and share and subscribe yourself if you want to, if you're not already. And because I'm a small channel, they might not promote me very much. So if you want to make sure to see what I have put up for you, click the bell too. You'll get notifications. But you can also just come back on YouTube itself, the site, and just look up my blog or in your list and just check if you want to. You don't have to put notifications. But these are just suggestions. You don't have to do them. But it really helps me, and thanks to those that want to help and figure out ways to help. That is part of YouTube's policy of helping. The commenting, liking, sharing, and viewing. And also, I don't want to just talk about that. I just want to say, but I know I've said it twice before in the same video, but thank you so much. I don't have really the words to express how thankful I am. And for those that are willing to help me like they've been helping me and are there for me on this platform. It's very touching and moving, and I'm very thankful. It's a blessing, just so you know. Okay, there's another subject I want to include, not just the thank you, but I'm gonna list some of my favorite movies, not all at once because I can't think of them all at once, and not in order because I can't think of them all in order, and there's a lot of them. I'm just gonna list them in case you haven't seen them and would like to see them. I highly recommend the ones I'm going to tell you. And I'm not going to go into plots because I don't want to, ruin the movie for you. But I'll just list my favorites as they come into my memory. And I'm surprised I've been looking at my face and I haven't really closed my eyes in this one. And I've had my head lifted up. Usually when I'm trying to concentrate and things I look down and it looks like I'm reading usually, or my eyes are closed because of concentration, but for some reason today I'm able to open my eyes and the words are coming easily on the fly and in real time. Um, And look back at other videos. My starter video will tell you more about why I look the way I look and sound the way I sound and am the way I am. So, if you're curious, look at that. If you have questions and they're kind ones, I will try to answer as many of those as I can. So, feel free to leave questions, but keep it kind and Christ honoring, please. And here we go with this isn't an exhaustive list, and I'll add more in other videos, but let's get it started at least, okay? Let's see. I want to start with Jesus of Nazareth. To honor Jesus first, always. I like to honor him first and foremost. And then, another really great one is Young at Heart with Doris Day, Frank Sinatra, Ethel Barrymore, and Gig Young, and others that do an equally great job as the first four that I mentioned. One side note about Gig Young, he was one of my favorite characters in this movie. Then I did research about him, and in the 70s, he murdered his wife and then killed himself. That I, of course, don't like and would never condone or be happy about. But him as an actor in that movie, he was one of my favorite characters, and that was way before he murdered his wife and killed himself. But it's a sad tragedy and a devilish act that he did in the 70s, but that doesn't take away from how good he was of an actor in I think Young at Heart was 1954, so 20-ish years after that he murdered his wife and killed himself. So, but he had issues, but that's no excuse for doing that to anybody. So, anyway, well, I would have more movies, but that was a side note to research I've done on that movie and the actors in it. But Young at Heart as a movie is awesome too. As a movie, just as awesome as Jesus of Nazareth in different ways, and of course it's comes after any subject matter about Jesus. Movie is first and foremost, but I started with Jesus of Nazareth, and I'll come up with some more and other lists that pertain to Jesus. Okay, a third movie for this list, Jaws 1 and 2. Well, I guess I'll say 4 because it was a sequel of 4. Jaws 1, 2, 1 and 2, those are my favorites of the series. And I've seen all 4 though. All 4 parts, all 4 editions, all 4, the original and 3 sequels. In my opinion, they didn't need 3 and 4, but 1 and 2 are really awesome and worth a watch. Although I did watch all 4 just to see all 4, to form an opinion on all 4. I rewatch and rewatch Jaws 1 and 2 whenever I can, if I see them on TV. I used to have a collection of favorite movies, but I have so many favorites that it got overwhelming to think about how many I like and would like in a collection, and that I couldn't afford to possibly afford to get all the ones I'd want in my collection. So I just gave up doing a movie collection because I can gift, when I have some money to do so, I can find them discount movies of some favorites to give people as presents. And if I wanted to, I could watch them, and then give them away after I rewatch my favorites that I give away as presents if I wanted to. But plus, YouTube has a lot of movies that you can partake in, and unless they get taken down because of copyright and stuff. But YouTube lets them stay up until they get complaints, if they do get complaints. So if you can catch them before they get taken down, YouTube's a good source for lots of movies. And then there's public domain movies that are so old that they stay up regardless because they become public domain movies that you can watch and without having them be taken down. So they're always going to be there if they're uploaded. Those kind. And, yeah, 1 and 2 in Jaws was excellent. Um, Same thing with the sequels of Star Wars. I like Star Wars is the original, The Empire Strikes Back, and Return of the Jedi. After those three, I haven't watched the other ones. And I'm kind of miffed that, not kind of, I am miffed that when they started to do the ones after the first three, they started calling the first three prequels and not the original set of the first three. And I don't like that. They stand on their own as classics and their own movies, so they don't deserve to be called a prequel to the new. Just call them sequels, like normal. That's what they are to me, and I didn't watch any of the ones after the first three, based on that reasoning that they turned the first three classic ones into prequels. I did not like that, and I still don't. I haven't watched the other than what they previewed on TV or YouTube. I didn't go to the theater or buy the movies or rent the movies to watch after the first three. So I have no clue. Well, I do have a little bit of a clue what they were about because of the snippets that could be seen on TV or YouTube or something like that. So I know a little bit, but not the whole movie of any but the first three. But I can highly recommend the first three because they were really good. And I'm not really into science fiction, so the fact that Star Wars got me watching all three of the first ones um, is saying something about the movie. Well, now that I said that about the first three of Star Wars, I may as well say that about Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Richard Dreyfuss was in the first Jaws, of course, but he was also in um, Close Encounters of the Third Kind, and I love that one too. But there's very few science fiction ones that I have watched and enjoyed. But those first three Star Wars and Close Encounters of the Third Kind are the top four that I can think of right now. I'm sure there'll be a few more that I'll mention in future videos about science fiction, but usually I don't gravitate towards science fiction. But I'm glad I watched the four that I mentioned in this list. And then, let's see. That's quite a few, but I want to keep going for different genres and not just science fiction and a couple more. Well, I mean, of course, Jesus of Nazareth isn't science fiction, and Young at Heart isn't, but it's thrown in with a bunch of science fiction ones after those first two that I mentioned. That's what I meant. Sometimes my words don't come out correctly because of my condition. I don't call it a disability anymore. I used to, but now I have a different phrase, and I've said in earlier videos what that is, but I'll say it in this one too because it's starting to show itself and come up. So I say my cerebral palsy is a diffability, D-I-F ability, not disability, but diff-ability, like different abilities. So that's what I'm sticking to these days, calling it. It's much more accurate and kind to say diffabilities, different abilities instead of disability. Because everybody has different abilities. And it makes more sense and it's kinder and sweeter to say. and more accurate. And, let's see, I'm going to do some more. But I don't want to do, I want to save any more science fiction ones for a different movie that I might enjoy also, in addition to those, the Star Wars ones, and, I don't want to backtrack. So let's get away from the science fiction and come up with some more like the first two and other genres. Okay. Oh, this is the same actor in it, but it got me thinking of a different kind. The Goodbye Girl is great. That's got Richard Dreyfuss. And I don't want to do too many Richard Dreyfuss favorites in one list, so I'll just leave it at that for Richard Dreyfuss. And let me say now, too, probably every time, there's some themes in movies that I recommend that sometimes I wish weren't in the movies, and you could probably tell which ones because I want to be Christ honoring, and I'm a Christian, and I'd be uncomfortable with certain things. You can imagine just what scenes I'd be uncomfortable with, so I don't recommend those parts, but it can't be escaped sometimes, and I just would fast forward over those things or close my eyes or leave the room, but I don't condone the scenes that Jesus wouldn't want me to see, but the movies as a overall and as a whole are good enough or great enough to still watch it, but I would take precautions and remove myself from the situation or close my eyes or turn my head or close my ears in certain parts that Jesus wouldn't want me to watch or listen to or things like that. So that's my disclaimer about some of these movies have some scenes in them or smaller parts that um, I, I I wouldn't want to watch or recommend. So just know that, keep that in mind. That I'm just speaking as favorite movies as a whole, not the whole percentage sometimes, not 100% sometimes recommended, but I will let you know. Um, well, I will say in a disclaimer, um, when the list includes movies, well, it will probably include movies every time that have little bits and pieces that I wouldn't recommend or want to see or hear for myself. Little pieces in a lot of the movies. But that doesn't take away from the majority of the movie being really great. And so, let's see. Let's give you a couple more if you haven't seen them. And I'm just as picky with movies as I am with food. I eat a lot of foods. Don't get me wrong. I'm not picky in the amount of foods I eat. I'm picky on how it tastes to me, though. It has to taste just so, or I'm picky about that. And it has to have some ingredients missing, or like most of the time onions or peppers. Most of the time, onions or bell peppers. If foods have that, it's usually an automatic no thanks. But there's exceptions to the rule about some onion things. I've already brought that up, so I won't bring it up in this. And I'm rabbit trailing, so sorry. But bell peppers in anything is no way, unless people give it to me. If they're having me over for dinner or lunch or whatever, if they give it to me, I'll try to accept it, but then pick out the peppers. But bell peppers, they kind of ruin the taste of everything else on the plate, in my opinion. Whatever they touch starts tasting like bell peppers. So I wish and hope that people would understand that I would want to decline bell peppers, even if it was offered at somebody else's house. But I would ask them politely if I could pass on the bell peppers and explain. But to not be rude, I would, if they would have a problem with it, I would take some and then just move it away and try to get through the rest of the food and hope the bell peppers didn't touch parts of my other favorite foods on the plate. Well, anyway, that's not got nothing to do with movies, but the subject came up in my rabbit trail, so. And again, I'm going to have varied lengths of videos because it goes along with my channel. I'm not going to stick to always long and always short or always in the middle length of videos. They'll just be as long as they turn out to be, and they're going to stay old school. Like, I tried, well, I'm not going to backtrack on my video content because too many rabbit trails happen, and that makes them unnecessarily long for you to be watching and listening to if I've already covered something in a prior video. So just go back and watch my videos so I won't get rabbit traily about things I've already talked about. It's there to be heard and watched if you want to. And my video list at this point isn't too long yet. When I re-upped on YouTube to start over and do vids instead of vlogs. So let's see. Let me give you a couple more movies and I'll wrap up the first list of favorite movies that you might want to watch if you haven't seen, or rewatch if you have seen them, to remind yourself of how good they are. And if you don't, well, you might not like them because everybody's different. But let me know how you like him and what you liked about him, and leave it down in the comments and interact. I'd love to interact with you about the subject matter of my vids. And see, I'll give you a couple more in this first of. There's gonna be more movie lists because, like I said, I've got a long list of favorite movies, and these are just scratching the surface about the number of favorites. Barefoot in the Park with Robert Redford and Jane Fonda and other people. That's a really good one. And there's another one that's, well, I like a lot of Robert Redford movies. But I'll get to one more about Robert Redford, and then I'll backtrack and do other ones in other lists. The last one he did, I think it was his last one, he was pretty much silent in the movie. Oh, I'll have to do that one later because I don't know the title. I forget the title, but I'll bring that up in another list. So scratch that second one about Robert Redford until I can get the title of the one. I'm not going to try to tell you what it is when I don't know. I don't remember the title. But I'll cover it in another video. I was going to mention it, but then I realized I don't have the title. I don't remember the title. So, let's see. So one more. And again, I have more Robert Redford ones in mind, but I gotta make sure about the title of the one that I tried to tell you just recently. I don't have the title, so I'm not gonna mention it, and I'm not gonna describe it. I don't want to ruin it for you. So I'll get on to more Robert Redford movies in the future. So now I'll get one more out of my brain and tell you the title when I can think of it, and I'm trying to think on the fly, so give me a second to think of the last one for this video installment. I slip back and forth between video and saying vlog and video. But this time around on YouTube, I'm trying to call them videos because I don't really do the vlog part anymore. I'll mention things about my life as we go along, but I'm not going to specifically call them vlogs or do vlogs. But I will share parts of my own life here and there, and not just give you lists or recipes. It's varied treasures after all, not just lists and recipes. That's just part of it. So, okay, no more horsing around here. I promised you one more movie for this list, so let me quickly try to think of one. Oh, I don't know how quick I can be, how quickly I can think of it. But if I be quiet for a second or two, I can think of one really quick. So let me be silent for a few seconds, and one will come to me. And that will be the end of this video. Until the next one. Oh, the original True Grit with John Wayne, Glenn Campbell, and Kim Darby, etc., etc., etc. You can't improve on True Grit, the original, and I wonder why they try to improve on originals that are so stellar they don't need a remake for future generations. Just have the future generations watch the original classic and don't mess around with a perfect film. That's my beef about sequels, prequels, and remakes. Anybody else out there feel the same? Or if you feel differently than me, go ahead and leave it in the comments. But be respectful and kind about your comments, because not everybody's the same. Not everybody likes the same movies. Not everybody likes the same actors. Not everybody likes the same procedures. Not everybody agrees with adding to classics by prequels, sequels, and yada yada yada. So, okay, there's my first list. And before I get into my next movie list, keep in mind I'm not gonna listen back to all my lists every time to make sure which ones I said and which ones I didn't. So sometimes there's gonna be overlaps and me putting the same movie in a different video, upcoming video, because I had forgotten that I put it in a prior video. So please understand that that might happen, and please put up with it when it does happen. And thank you for your understanding and kindness about that ahead of time, because it's probably going to happen. So have a great day, and thank you so much for being here and joining me on the journey. And I hope you enjoy yourself on my page. And please keep coming back. Please keep adding to my subbies. Please keep commenting. Please share if you want to do that. And I'm so thankful there's people out there that want to help me out more so than people who don't. But you're all welcome to watch, even if you don't want to do any of the things I'm asking you to do to help me succeed on YouTube. But I do want to continuously thank the people that are willing to help And forever thank you for that. Okay, and I always seem to have to search for the thing off to the side to turn off the video. So that's gonna probably be a constant too.